Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a very difficult one, but it's an important story that needs to be told. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the heartbreaking Vanderbijlpark scholar transport tragedy, where 13 school children lost their lives while simply trying to get to school. What was meant to be a normal school morning turned into a nightmare for families, communities, and the entire country. I'll be going through what really happened, the verified facts, the families affected, including the mother who lost 2 children at once, and what authorities are saying now as investigations continue. This video is shared with respect, awareness, and remembrance, not for sensationalism. If you are sensitive to this kind of content, please take care while watching. And let's get right into the story. On Fred Rost Road, R55-3, near Vanderbijlpark, a private scholar transport minibus, also known as a school taxi, was carrying pupils from several area schools as part of the morning school run. According to police, the eyewitness reports, the minibus was carrying at least 18 learners from different schools. The driver attempted to overtake multiple vehicles on a busy route. In doing so, the minibus entered the oncoming lane and collided head-on with a large truck, a tipper, coming from the opposite direction. The impact was devastating. The vehicle was torn apart, landing on its side, leaving behind a scene of wreckage, shattered glass, school bags, and trauma. The death toll was catastrophic. 11 children were pronounced dead at the scene, and 2 more died later in hospital from the injuries. This brought the confirmed number of deaths to 13 children, 9 girls and 3 boys, according to police reports. Several more children were critically injured and rushed to nearby hospitals. In total, multiple children were hospitalized, some in serious condition. The minibus driver also survived with injuries. The truck driver was initially treated and later released, arrested, facing charges of culpable homicide, reckless and negligent driving. Perhaps the most heartbreaking moments came from the families. One mother, whose identity has been shared widely in press reports, lost 2 of her children in the crash. In raw, emotional scenes at the cordoned-off crash site, she stood beside the wreckage, unable to process what had happened. "Both of my children, what have I done to deserve this?" she cried, pleading with first responders. Other parents, overwhelmed with grief and desperation, forced their way past police lines to see their children's bodies in the wreckage. This wasn't just an accident. It was a family's worst nightmare. The children on board were not all from a single school, but came from several institutions in the Vaal and Vanderbijlpark region. Vaal High School, Vaal Primary School, Suncrest High School, El Shaddai Christian School, Oliver Lodge Primary School, and the Vanderbijlpark. Across these communities, news of the tragedy spread quickly, and schools entered crisis response mode, supporting students, staff, and bereaved families. Authorities said initial investigations point strongly towards human error by the minibus driver as a primary cause, specifically the unsafe overtaking attempt. Police have opened a culpable homicide case against the minibus driver. Both drivers of the minibus and the truck are being examined as part of mechanical and forensic investigations. Experts and officials also confirmed that the private scholar transport sector in South Africa has significant safety gaps, leading to calls for stricter regulations and enforcement. South African leadership responded with shock and sadness. President Cyril Ramaphosa called the loss of children an immeasurable national tragedy and stressed the importance of both road safety and improved transport oversight. Provincial leaders visited the scene and spoke directly with grieving parents. The Gauteng Department of Education said psychosocial support teams and counseling services have been deployed to affected schools and families to help with trauma and grief recovery. This accident reignited long-standing concerns. Private scholar transport often lacks adequate oversight. Many operators drive without valid permits, proper training, or vehicle safety checks. Road safety advocates have repeatedly called for stricter rules and enforcement before more children are lost. Behind the numbers are young lives full of promise, children with birthdays, dreams, friends, and futures that were cut short too soon. As families bury loved ones, communities continue to mourn. Vigils, memorials, and school assemblies have been held to remember the lives lost and to support those still hurting. Each name now carries a story of a life lived too briefly, and a reminder to the world that every child's life matters. This was not just another road crash. It was a tragedy that shook South Africa and raised urgent questions about road safety and the protection of children. To honor those lost, we must remember their names, advocate for safer scholar transport, demand accountability and better regulations, because no parent should ever have to lose a child on their way to school.